Hi, I'm Marsh from StrataGames, and today we are playing some more Mono Black Burn. I've been trying to make some sort of Mono Black Burn deck work for a while, shifting through several different themes, and today we have another pretty sweet one that I am pretty happy with. This is kind of Pinger Burn in black. Black Mage's Rod, of course, pings your opponent whenever you cast a non-creature spell. This card's really strong. We've also added a couple cornered by black mages, which makes a wizard, which basically does the same thing. But we're also playing Melancholic Poet. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets a creature, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain a life. The reason we're doing this is because we have both Mutagenic Growth and Rouse, which is basically a worse Mutagenic Growth, to cast to target our own creatures for free, meaning we can ping our opponent a lot with both of these guys over and over and over again. We're also playing Vampire's Bite as opposed to Bump of the Night because this targets a creature for 3 damage. Obviously, it's a little worse because you have to have a creature attacking. There's a little bit of extra utility, though. And we're also playing Blood Crazed Hoplite, which is a heroic creature that grows every single time we target it, and also removes counters from our opponents, which probably won't be relevant, but might be. But it's the only black heroic creature, and since we're targeting our own creatures with spells, I figured we had to try it out. We still have a pretty standard 1-drop package here in Vampire Lacerator, Okiba Reckoner Raid, Night Market Lookout. We're still playing Tyrant's Choice, because I think this is just one of the best cards you can be playing. 2 mana for 4 damage is pretty much the best rate you can get. I guess 1 for 3 is also a pretty good rate, but we want to be dealing the extra damage. We're running 18 lands here with 4 Festering Gulch, and our sideboard here, Spinning Darkness, Relic of Progenitus, Duress, Trespasser's Curse, Suffocating Fumes, and some Vampiric Links. So let's take this for a league and see how we do. Thanks to Card Market for sponsoring this video. I've written a comprehensive guide on how to play White Weenie in Pauper, including my ideal stock list, over 30 sideboard matchups, and a sideboard cheat sheet, which gives you a very easy snapshot view and what to sideboard for every single matchup. I also have guides for Black Sack and Esper Affinity. Each guide is only $15, and if you buy one, you will get all future updates that I ever make to that guide for free. I also offer coaching, so if you're interested in upping your Pauper game for any of the decks that I'm very proficient in, or if you're interested in having me play your deck in a future video, you can do a deck donation, which is the only way you'll ever see me playing Cycle Storm or Flickertron. All right, round 1 here, we have no lands. Now we have 4 lands and just 2 mutagenics. This is not a deck that mulligans very well, but this also doesn't really seem keepable. So off to a great start here. All right, we got 2 poets, or rather a poet and a rod. I can get rid of 1 swamp and 1 rouse, I guess. Start with a gulch and pass the turn. Another Black Mage's Rod. I'm going to start with a poet here because if they have a lava dart, I don't want them to immediately pick off a wizard here. If they have a bolt, I'll probably mutagenic to save our guy. They have nothing at all, not even a land. They might be discarding a Fiery Temper here. They are. I am going to keep this around. It's going to ping them for 1 and just lets us get in for 2 damage. If they're missing land drops, definitely keeping our guy seems good. Another poet. I think I will play the other poet because they do stack and still less susceptible to lava darts. They're going to pass again to Fiery Temper discard, I assume. No, just a snacker this time. It's better for us. They might just have a bolt, but swing for 4, play another gulch. Wow, game is easy when your opponent doesn't do anything. I guess we haven't won yet. We could still definitely lose, but they do have the lava dart for the wizard, but they're going to pass here. Swamp. This guy probably gets darted, so I'm just going to equip. All right, we take the first game. Great. So I definitely over-prepared for Mono Red Madness because this is a match I'm worried about. So like Vampiric Link is really going to be good ideally on our Hoplite, which can get really big, but also on a Black Mage's Rod, Wizard, Melancholic Poet. Actually, the Poet doesn't deal damage, it does loss of life, but the Wizards deal damage, so they could gain life. Spinning Darkness, we could do Relic and Duress, that seems like a lot. And also the Vampire's Bites are going to be pretty hard to kick, but they do technically give lifelink if we do kick them. Cornered doesn't seem good here. I could just take out Rouse entirely. Maybe we do a couple Duress. I'm not sure if Duress or Relics would be better. And also I'm not sure yet if taking out Rouse is good at all, because maybe our deck relies too heavily on it. This is a 1-lander with 2 mutagenics, mostly 1-drops, but it is a tap land. These guys all gain life too, though. I think we'll give it a try and hope we draw a swamp. They start with an Epicure. We'll gulch it up. They swing for 1, discard a snacker with a blood, and then another Epicure. We do get a swamp, that's good. I could just do Black Mage's Rod. It just dies to a lava dart, although I could growth it to keep it alive. I think we're going to do a Reckoner Raid and a Lookout. And if they try to dart this, I might growth it just so that I can hold back their Epicures as well. They have a Gutter Snipe. Well, we don't have a lot of removal. I did bring in that 1 Spinning Darkness, but that's about it. Swing with an Epicure, Black Mage's Rod. Play this. Swing with the Lookout because we'll gain a life. They'll block with the Epicure, but I can Mutagenic Growth. I did this. Played the hero first, so they take an extra damage. Grab the prize. Discarding a Mountain, though, so only 2 damage from the Gutter Snipe. Snacker does come back. Swing with the Epicure. Take 1. They pass. This guy flips. I mean, I think I need to play another Rod, so we're dealing additional damage. And then swing here. If they block, then I probably know that they would, like, bolt it in response. If I Growth, they will take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We will lose 2 and maybe die, but I think we got to take that chance. Don't want to waste 4 damage here. So we go to 6. That means Tyrant's Choice is lethal if we can survive. Fiery Temper, so we're going to take 5 here. They'll have 3 cards to kill us. They're going to swing first with the Snacker. We'll go to 6. Grab the prize, discarding another Gutter Snipe. They just need any spell at all. Highway Robbery does it. Alright, let's try again. We didn't try any of our sideboard cards. It's possible that we need some more removal in the sideboard, more Spinning Darkness or Soul Reap or something like that. Alright, here we have Lacerator into Hoplite, into Growing the Hoplite. This is a decent start. I know one concern with the Spinning Darkness is I don't have that many cards that I actively put into my graveyard with that are black, like the Mutagenic Growth doesn't count, so it's possible that I don't have enough spells to alternative cost it, because most of my things are creatures, but I don't know, I guess we will find out. Lacerator deals 1 to us. Melancholic Poet. Swing for 2. Play a Hoplite. Attack with the Epicure. We'll take. Grab the prize with the Lava Dart. Take another from the Lacerator. Well, we're going to play the Poet, and I'm going to try to Mutagenic Growth the Hoplite to deal some extra damage. They could Lava Dart it in response, but they would lose a land. So we'll see if they want to do that, but I do pay 2 life, but I actually gain 1 back from the Poet, deal an extra damage. Guess I remove a counter from them with the guy here, but we hit for 7. That's not bad. We have taken, what, 4 off of our own cards, though. But we got the Lacerator, them down to 10 life, so Lacerator doesn't hurt us anymore. They have a Gutter Snipe, and I don't have a way to cast this Spinning Darkness, so this seems kind of bad, actually. Another Mutagenic is pretty good, though. I'll play a Black Mage's Rod, because that means that's 2 damage automatically. I'll probably block the Hoplite here. So they're taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 if I cast Growth, but we would take 1, which I'm not sure I want to do. I think I don't want to deal a damage to myself yet, because I could die to the Gutter Snipe. But yeah, we're seeing Spinning Darkness is probably not good enough, unfortunately. Grab the prize, discarding a Robbery. We take 4. Lava Dart on the hero token. Sure, because that lets him deal an extra. So we're going to 7. He attacks for 2. I got a 5, and then a bolt kills us. A Mutagenic Growth. I take 2, but I gain 1, so I'm at 8, and then I'm at 6, but I still have this hero, which means I don't die to 1 bolt. Yeah, I think that's true, so let's do that. They have a bolt, and another. Yep, they got us. So pretty annoying how that one went, but to be honest, I had a Spinning Darkness, which the goal of it was to kill a Gutter Snipe. It didn't do that, so if that was just any other card that could have actually killed the Gutter Snipe, I think we could have not only survived but won. So yeah, definitely a bit unfortunate. Against Affinity, it looks like. Play a Lacerator. Hawkeye's Bow, but I thought this card was banned. What's going on? Let's swing for 2 and just cast a Black Mage's Rod. Pass the turn. They play Great Furnace and just pass. They have nothing to cast. That's crazy. I mean, maybe some Galvanics and stuff, but okay, well, I'll ping them with the Reckoner Raid and the hero token here. Swing for 4. I could play a Hoplite. That's just more creatures that die to a Krark. Feels like they would have played a Krark if they had it. Yeah, I'm going to play a Hoplite. Kind of feels like we don't quite have enough damage if they do have the Krark. Well, if they don't have a Krark and they don't wipe the board, I have, what, 7? Some damage in hand. Feels like they don't have a Krark, and so we're playing around that. Basic Island, Steelfin Whale. Okay, so they are not general regular Grixis Affinity. They are Whale combo. I feel like probably can't die to this until it has gone through Summoning Sickness and whatnot. Ooh, Cornered by Black Mages is perfect. I'll just make them sack that real quick, and then also just kill them. They have Metallic Rebuke? Sure. Pretty sure we can just get them, though. They either have to block, and if they don't block, they're just dead. So this is 6, and a Vampire's Bite is going to be +3, 4, 5. They actually do block. So I guess, I mean, I also just have Mutagenic Growth. which will be lethal, so we'll just do both of those. I could trade with the whale and like try to preserve our mutagenic, I guess, but let's just get the game. Why not? Probably want duress to stop the combo. Cornered seems good. Maybe Tyrant's Choice is a bit slow. I mean, based on that, it feels like we just want creatures, pingers and stuff, but maybe the choice is too good. I don't know. We have duress into a poet, into a cornered. I think that's good enough. Ooh, do I duress right away? I could take the combo piece, but we have a cornered. I think I want to go with the lookout. If I duress instead of lookout, it's like so many turns that I'm losing with the lookout, because then I want to play a poet, and then I want to play maybe cornered. So I don't know. We'll do this and then try to duress next turn. We're going to Galvanic. Galvanic actually doesn't kill anything if I want a mutagenic, because they only have 2 artifacts. They have Surveillance, which changes that. Although it's funny, tapping the lookout actually makes it so they still take a damage, but it is still less life that they lose, but a little funny there. Thoughtcast for 2. Good sign. Great Furnace, and there's the bow. Double duress. I mean, I don't have anything else to spend our mana on than the first duress. Takes a Metallic Rebuke. Obviously, I'm not duressing again since we don't need it, but I think we will Vampire's Kiss here for some extra damage. So we're hitting for 6. They go to 11. This and this are 3 each, so I could put them to 5, but since it's not killing, I might as well wait. I don't actually know the exact Steelfin Whale combo here, but I assume I'm pretty sure it's with Surveillance Cam and a Retraction Helix, which is like infinite triggers and ETBs or something. And then the bow they put on it 2, but they would need blue mana. I know there's an infinite way to do that with like a land that taps for mana. That's also a creature, but that's like a 5-card combo. That seems convoluted. Probably a little simpler of a way to do it, I would guess. Improvise draw 3 maybe? Yeah, reverse engineer. Okay, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage. Festered Gulch would be lethal. Let's duress, take a Lotus Petal, Gulch 'em, and then go for lethal. Ping a bunch, hit for 7. Well, that one worked out pretty well. It helps when they have very little interaction. All right, here we are. This one looks pretty good. We actually have a bit of a curve. Well, 1, 1, I guess 1, 2, and then 1 and 2 if we get a third land. That'd be pretty good. And then Tyrant's Choice, although Choice doesn't trigger the poets. I feel like in this version, with the synergies and stuff, I held over too many cards from the old version of Burn with Tyrant's Choice, maybe some of the creatures like Lacerator or Lookout. I feel like there's got to be something better. There's probably another pump spell that I could do. Oh, there is I looked at doing, I can't even remember what it's called, but it's +2/+0 and Death Touch for a black mana instant speed with Rebound. So that can trigger the poets. That can trigger poets and Black Mage's Rod twice. So that's almost like a Lava Dart, I guess, in that it's going to be cast the second time for free, 1 mana, deal some damage. Obviously a bit of a stretch to compare because it doesn't just directly kill creatures, but I think that might be worth putting in. Just going fully in on the Repartee and Heroic. I wish there was another heroic creature like a Lagana-Band Trailblazer. Just a 1 mana guy would be way better. All right, we're going to Poet. I assume we're against Madness again, but I guess it could be any red deck. No Bolt at the end step. Currently keeping our creatures. Grab the prize with the Snacker. So Swamp would be decent because I could just play both our guys here. Hoplite. No way to trigger that, and currently it dies to a Lava Dart. So I think I just play another Poet. And when we get something to trigger the Poets, it's going to be pretty good. Yeah, I am also feeling like with the low land count, because we're an aggro deck, but Poet, Hoplite, and Black Mage's Rod being 2-drops, and then Tyrant's Choice and Cornered by Black Mages being 2s and 3s. I think Tyrant's Choice would be better served as a 1-drop of some variety. But I am kind of liking what this deck can do. Feels like there might be something here. They got a Flame Breather. No land drop, but that is a 1/3, which is pretty good if we don't have a mutagenic or anything to grow our guys. Now we get the Swamp. So if I attack with everything, they block here, block, they take 2. But Snacker can't block until 2 turns, so I think it's going to be worth it, even if I don't love it and wish we had a pump spell. They might not go for the block, I guess, on the Flame Breather for fear of it dying. No, they are. I could Tyrant's Choice, but if one Tyrant's Choice left the next one being like lethal next turn, maybe I would. I think we just get the creatures down and hope they don't have a Lava Dart for this. And the Lookout, grab the prize with a Fiery Temper. Could go at our face. If they do that, Well, if they don't have a way to kill, even if they fiery temper one of our creatures, if they don't have a way to kill another one, and then I draw an untapped land, I could double Tyrant's Choice, which puts them to 4, and attack. They can only block 1, which would put them to dead. Of course, I would attack first in case they have like a Fire Blast or something, but could be okay. They are going to take out the Poet. We'll take 4 to 11. Get back Snacker. If they don't have a land, that's pretty good though. Come on, give me a swamp. That's a swamp. So if I attack, they automatically take 1. They could block here, but they take 3 more down to 8, and then I have 8 damage in hand. So I think the only way they could survive is if they Fire Blast one of these for 4 damage, but I don't think they're going to suspect that they need to do that. Even if they do, they go pretty low and only have 1 land left. We're going to block here and take 4. Perfect. Tyrant's Choice, which is no choice at all. Always check to make sure you're voting for the right one. Torture is the loss of life. And if you choose Torture, then it doesn't matter what they pick. All right. That was cool. We got there. Game 1. Once again, not confident Vampiric Link is the sideboard here. Spinning Darkness. I mean, if we draw like a bunch of Vampire's Bites and Rouse and Tyrant's Choices, it could be okay, but I do see why it didn't work before. So that should probably just be a different card. I think Cornered isn't going to work here that well. Maybe we cut the Lacerators because they lose us life, but a lot of things lose us life. Lacerator, Rouse, and Mutagenic. All right, this one looks good enough. Probably going to duress them turn 1 just to try to hit a grab the prize, hoping it'll be their only one. They mulligan to 6, so more likely that could happen. Mountain and nothing. A land I definitely did not want. Duress does take their only grab the prize, and they're left with 2 Keswick Flame Breathers. Hopefully no Thoughtseize bug. Come on. I mean, I guess we don't take 2 damage, but still pretty much the same. Discard a Snacker. Look at that. Black Mage's Rod. I think we start with the Poet. We don't currently have ways to grow the Hoplite. Yeah, we definitely need more things that target because we are not triggering these as often as I would like right now. There's a Flame Breather. Bolt on the Poet. Yeah. Swing for 2. Black Mage's Rod. All right. Play that, and I could play a Night Market Lookout. Only really matters if I draw a heroic spell like Rouse or something, Mutagenic Growth. Or I could just Gulch, and then next turn I can Rod plus Hoplite. I think that's a little better. They're going to have double Flame Breather is the problem. Second Breather, so we get the Snacker and the first one. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Come on. Why are you drawing me more lands? Hoplite, and I guess I just gotta pass. Swing with the Snacker, take 2. They have another Robbery, we take 2. Discard a Snacker, pass. We do get a Mutagenic Growth. Can only use it on one of them though, so if they block 2, plus they probably have a Bolt Up or something. But we gotta hope for the best. I guess maybe I should have re-equipped a Black Mage's Rod to this guy, so I attack with that, and then they can only block and trade with 1. That might have been a little better. They don't block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11. I mean, I gotta try. We can pay mana, not life for this guy. Let's remove a counter from this Flame Breather. They go to 7, play a Lookout, and I could re-equip a Black Mage's Rod. I'm not sure that's really helpful. Let's just pass. They attack with the whole team. I mean, I'll block one of these guys, so I take 5. Still die to any bolt, but I'm doing my part, my best. Hardcast Fiery Temper will do it. Man, if they didn't top deck exactly what I didn't want them to. I mean, we haven't seen the Vampiric Links once, although our creatures are... Hoplite's getting 1 counter, maybe. So I'm going to bring in the Relics instead of the Vampiric Links. Obviously, this is the matchup that they're made for, but I'm also have not tuned the sideboard at all. So, yeah, let's try this instead. This hand looks reasonable enough. They mulligan to 5. That helps. Probably want to start with the Lookout on turn 1. Hope they don't have a dart for it. Turn 2, I Gulch and Duress. Turn 3, Rod. I think that's the goal. All right, Lookout has been darted, of course. Got another Lookout. I do want to Lookout, but I think I want to Duress to take a Grab the Prize just so they can draw another Grab the Prize first. Yep, let's do that. Oh, they kept a 1-lander. I mean, on 5 cards, I guess they had to. So I guess if they got the Grab the Prize, they would still need a Mountain, so that's something. Relic, they have a Bolt. Well, they said GG. We'll see if they actually concede, but we got a Relic here. And I think, I mean, I'll run out the Night Market Lookout. If they want to sack their land to Lava Dart before I relic it, that's almost just better for us. Them losing another land. Bolt the Lookout, I think that makes sense. If you say GG, I think you got to concede, though. Don't think you're allowed to keep playing. And they drew the Highway Robbery, of course. They got the Mountain, and I don't have Relic up. So they're going to get to Snacker. And then if they win this, I'm going to be pretty annoyed, especially after they said GG. So I could pop the Relic or leave the Relic up, I guess. But I think we Black Mage's Rod and then Reckoner's Bargain. Drain for some damage. If they get a third land, they might feel like they can use the Dart, though. And they did. And unfortunately, their removal has pretty well stopped our aggression. So not really confident we're going to win this one, despite their bad start. Attack with a Snacker. Gutter Snipe. Sure. And they're going to Dart this. No mutagenic growth for us, unfortunately. And another Relic. Why not? I guess we'll crack this one then. And pass the turn. We're definitely going to die, though. They're at 16. Like, yeah, all they need is a way to kill a few of our creatures, and then we're going to be too slow. Flame Breather. Guess I'll crack the Relic, and we get flooded out. Perfect. Oh my god. Draw every Relic that I brought in. Of course, when they're not useful. I guess I could have left up the 1 for when they did the Snacker thing, but whatever. This is the first draft of this deck. Certainly, our deck should be good enough to be able to win against a pretty bad mold of 5, but we're in the early stages, so we're definitely going to lose some matches that we probably should not. All right, this one is decent. Start with a Lookout against Delver. Black Mage, cornered by Black Mages could be pretty good. Swing with the Lookout, no blocks. Pass the turn. They're going to go for a Brainstorm. Flip a Mental Note. We get a Swamp. They could have a Spell Pierce. Probably better to get the Black Mage's Rod down anyway, so if they keep attacking, we have more damage on them. Although I guess if they Spell Pierce this, that'd be pretty annoying, but it resolves. Let's Gulch. A Mental Note, mill an Island and a Serpent. Tough, but fair. Brainstorm. Still swinging. Another Black Mage's Rod. I think that's going to eat a counterspell for sure, but let's go for it. And it doesn't. Crazy. So we can hit for 4, which puts them to 8. So we have lethal if they don't have a counterspell, so let's actually just do that. Mutagenic Growth is an extra 4, Tyrant's Choice is an extra 6, and if they want to counter this, then we just got more where that came from. More other stuff. They're gonna Mental Note, try to draw into a Spell Pierce, mill 2 islands. Ooh, bad luck. Tyrant's Choice. All right, that was a turn 4 kill. They definitely got unlucky with their mills, maybe their draws with no counterspell, and didn't leave this back when I think they should, but hey, we'll take the win. Relics seem good, and that's probably it. Night Market Lookout doesn't go up against a Delver once it's flipped, whereas Lacerator does. But the Lookout's also direct damage that they can't interact with. Tough call, but I think we'll do those. We have a Relic, but unfortunately the rest of this hand is garbage. This one we have a Relic, and the rest of the hand is not garbage. We'll get rid of 1 Poet. We'll hope for no Spell Pierce or a Null. Force Spike. You know, it wasn't either of the things we were hoping it was not, so I guess I gotta give them kudos. Brainstorm. And no land. I feel like they would concede right now if they didn't hit a land of any kind, so I'm guessing they got a Lorien revealed. Yes. Oh, Mental Note. Okay. So not a Lorien revealed, but they do get past those spells and have 2 draws, and they do find an island. Okay. And that's 5 spells in the grave. It's not bad, actually. They can Terror next turn. They could triple Terror next turn. That'd be bad. Festering Gulch. Do a Poet. Gulch 'em, swing, pass. A little flooded here. I really wish these were both other spells. There's the Terror. Just the 1. Oh, brother. I mean, we're going to pass. I guess maybe I should put Black Mage's Rod on the Poet so it could be 5 power with the Rouse. Attack in. But I don't really want to trade those, so swing for 5. Boomerang the hero token. That's annoying. Vampire's Bite. So this is 3. This is 4 and 3 damage, so I could deal 10 here. Probably just leave it, especially since I know they have a Boomerang now. If I go all in and they Boomerang it, it'd be pretty bad. Thought Scour. They swing for 5. Pass. We get a bajillion lands. I mean, I guess I'm going to cast this with Kicker. Might as well. I expect it to get countered, which should probably be fine, to be honest. Or boomeranged would be worse. If it goes through, we deal them a whole lot of damage. Okay. They go to 6. I could have roused as well for 4 more. Maybe I should have. It felt a little all in, but like since they didn't have bounce spell or counter already, probably would have been worth it to get that extra damage in because now they have a blocker. Yeah. Oh my god. We're doing it pretty okay considering. So imagine if we hadn't drawn 8 lands in our 18 land deck and only 5 spells. I mean, I could attack and trade, and then they go to 4, but then we lose our guy, so that's not actually worth it. They do have the boomerang, which means I'm probably dead. I mean, right here, unless they had like a vapor snag or a gut shot, I'm not dead, but not sure how I can deal the damage I need to. Rouse, perfect. I guess if they didn't have a counterspell here, and I had gone for the rouse before, so they were at 2, then equipping this and then rousing onto this would actually win us the game, but now it will not, and it's not going to keep us alive either. So I actually could have won. Oh, unfortunate. I'm still learning the deck. I mean, I think this deck's doing pretty well. Like, we're 1-2, but considering we could have won right there, assuming they didn't have anything, but they really played like they didn't, that could have been a match win, and our sideboard is bad and all this stuff. Like, there seems to be something here. That's all I'm saying. Also drawing so many lands, but we still could have won, actually, if we did it right. Delver, Lacerator. We got a Poet, Swing. Double Poet with Rouse and Growth is pretty good. This means even if they leave back their Delver this time, I can Mutagenic to eat their guy. Force Spike is good to know about, unless they want to mill it here in their upkeep, which they're thinking about. They're going to cycle a Lorien. Okay, so they're not going to have a Force Spike that we know about anyway. They still could, which would be annoying, because if I don't draw a Swamp, I'm just going to probably play the Poet, which I would like to resolve. They're going to Ponder, so it will resolve. They are not going to attack this time. Smart. Ooh, Vampire's Bite's pretty good. Swing with the team. They're going to block here. I'm going to keep it alive. Ping for 2. Do I want to rouse right now? They're just taking 2. I think I saved the rouse. See if that's a mistake. Could be. But they got to do something, because we just have 6 damage on them. So, yeah, even if they just like leave this up and have a boomerang or something, I don't need to play into it at all. I can just attack, and if they don't do anything, I can Tyrant's Choice. If they do try to like bounce something, then I can rouse and Vampire's Bite a different one if I want to. All right, so boomerang here, so they'd be taking 4. Before this goes away, I could Vampire's Bite, so I'd be dealing an extra 5, 4, so that's 9, which means I'm 1 short. But I play around Force Spike. They go to 1. It's got to be good, right? Or I could play the Poet again, but they could get Force Spiked. Yeah, I think we're going to pump here. Because then if they fully tap out, Tyrant's Choice will just kill. I'll spread it out a little bit so that if they have like a Vapor Snag that I'm not suspecting, I'll still be fine. And they'll take 9. Cool. So a little bit of tempo loss because I'm not like recasting the Poet, but now they have 2 lethal attackers that they have to deal with. And then if they even can deal with them with like Sleep of the Dead, maybe a blocker, then Tyrant's Choice can kill them. So they have to have all of that plus a counterspell, which seems tough. Mental Note does hit 2 spells, lucky, so that could be a 1-mana terror. They could have another terror and then like a Force Spike if I don't draw a land. There it is. Although I guess I just have to I get anything that targets and they'll automatically die. But if I don't have that, I mean, I'm going to cast a Tyrant's Choice and hope that it kills them. Okay, it resolved immediately. If they had a Force Spike, I would be stopped, and they could maybe pull back into it, but it'd be tough. But they did not, so our throw did not lose us the match. Very nice. All right, this one, Bokina plays Elves, and I'm not confident this is going to win against Elves, but we're going to keep it because the hand looks decent. Okay, it's been a while since we played them. Clearly not Elves today, and no 1-drop's pretty unfortunate. They're going to be on Grixis Affinity, or maybe some sort of whale combo as well, but right now I'm thinking Grixis. I think we're starting with a Hoplite, because I actually have a lot of ways to pump it. So next turn I can play Poet, assuming they don't have a blocker or a kill spell. Candy Trail, okay, yeah, I do think it's just Dimir maybe then. Each of these can deal 4 damage because of Poet and Hoplite, so that's 12, 14 damage next turn. Scry 2 to the top. Refurb. Throws things off a little bit. I guess I get rid of the Swamp, although that allows me to play the Lacerator, but don't necessarily need to play that right away. They have a Thoughtcast, Vampire's Bite. Well, we're going to do the Poet, Swing. If they want to block, we'll just Mutagenic to keep it alive. It gets a counter. We'll ping them for 1, and we'll pass. They are Grixis. Okay. Galvanic Blast. That's annoying. I could double rouse it, but that still wouldn't keep it alive. I guess it's just Grixis with Candy Trail, which is an interesting include. Bargain the Wellspring. We really needed that Hoplite. Triple rouse and a Vampire's Kiss, or Vampire's Bite. So these all deal +1 damage. So it's 3, 3, 3, 4. So that's 13, 15. 15 is a lot. I wish I could give it lifelink, but I mean, we're at least doing this for the mana. I kind of think we're just going all in while they don't have a Krark or anything. We'll deal 11 more, go to 6. They have a Candy Trail. They could definitely have Galvanic or Krark, but pretty low. They have a Swamp, Refurb, Draws him a card. Enforcer and Galvanic Blast. Yeah, that's pretty bad. I guess if we get like not even 2 Tyrant's Choices doesn't even help because of this Candy Trail. Like 2 in a row doesn't even get us there. Black Mage's Rod, if that survives, is pretty good. Crack their Candy Trail. Galvanic Blast. Swing for 4. Night Market Lookout. Let's play that. Pass the turn. They attack for 6. We're going to die to double Galvanic or something. I guess they've already used 3. Blood Fountain. Krark. Sure. No way we can deal 9. And they're sacking stuff anyway, so pretty unfortunate. It was good for a little while there. I don't think Trespasser's Curse is good enough because they could just play like 1 or 2 creatures and then kill us that way. Duress. Cornered might be okay. Hoplight's probably not good enough in this one. Just lower toughness and stuff. Alright, this one looks okay. Start with a Lookout. And then Duress on turn 2, I think. Yep. Thoughtcast. They're going to have a Krark. Can't do much about that, but I think we cut off their card draw a little bit. Ping for 1. Bridge. Star. I could play Hoplite and Reckoner Raid, but Hoplite just means they Krark. I think I just Reckoner Raid and pass. This guy's already dealing 2 a turn, so they might have to Krark just for it. Galvanic Blast, sure. Blood Fountain. Lacerator. Alright, we'll go with the Hoplite now. Not the Lacerator, I don't think, because then they could just play a Krark, wait till this transforms, and then wipe everything. 3 guys, that's too many. There's Krark, which they can already do this, but double mutagenic. Swing. If they want to trade, I think we just let them trade, because then they're not keep killing this at least. I'll play a Lacerator. They're going to bargain a Star. Draw 3. Spell Bomb. Candy Trail. Crack the Candy Trail. Of course they're playing Candy Trail. When we're playing a burn deck, we go up against the Grixis Affinity deck, stocking additional life gain. Duress, sure. Toxin Analysis. We'll take that. Swing for 4 and just pass. Play the Wellspring. Reckoner's Bargain the Wellspring. Utra Monitor. That's a creature to kill with the Cornered by Black Mages. Problem is, then they can get back Krark and this, wipe the board pretty easily. They could attack, they can't block this one. 9 damage, that's not enough. Cornered, and then I double mutagenic, I can deal 10, that's not enough. I guess I just attack with the Road Captain, get in for 2. I want to Kiss, or Vampire's Bite, but then I'm wasting the damage from the Cornered by Black Mages, but if I'm not using the Cornered by Black Mages this turn, which I don't think I am, then I'm going to go for the Bite. Hit for 5. By not killing the Monitor, I'm hoping that they don't get back the Krark, or have a Krark at all, in which case I can maybe get around what they got. They have a Mirror Enforcer and a Wellspring. Another Wellspring. Refurb, of course. I guess I have to get rid of a Growth, although the Cornered barely does anything now. Black Mage's Rod. Sure, we'll make them sack a thing, and then they'll get that thing back with the Krark. Then I'll just die next turn when they wipe the board. And they've also drawn 3 of their bargains, a Candy Trail, a Toxin. Pretty nice for them. They draw a Krark. All right, well, we lost, but honestly, I think 2-3 was not bad considering the deck is in early stages. Definitely a lot of subpar cards, and we didn't play perfectly. Considering all of that, and we still won 2 matches, I'm pretty satisfied with that. I think there's definitely some changes to be made. The big one being, I like Tyrant's Choice a lot in other burn decks, but I think here there's 2 reasons I want it cheaper. First of all, we just have a lot of 2-drops already. Second of all, I would love to find a way for this to target our creatures, and also just be cheaper, especially because we're kind of trying to like storm off with these guys. So I think Virulent Swipe is worth trying. This is the one I was mentioning, +2/+0, Death Touch, Rebound for just a black mana and instant speed. I think over the Tyrant's Choice. That gives us 8 cards now, or not 8, 16 cards now that target our creatures, which makes it so that the Poet and the Hoplite are just a lot better. I also think I need to do a little digging, see if there's anything better than these kind of generic creatures here for 1-drops. Probably should check specifically for evasion because we have so many combat tricks we want to pile up on an evasive creature. Now, I specifically cut Changeling Outcast when we didn't care anymore about the party mechanic. I could bring that one back if I really want full evasion, but I could probably just find like a flyer or something, or Menace, that would be totally fine. Maybe the Menace lifelink guy, or maybe it's lifelink haste, so that we have better ways to combat mono red, but I guess 1 toughness is just really brutal. And the sideboard is a mess, I fully admit. This was a brand new brew, but hey, I'm pretty happy with it. I think Hoplite is definitely underpowered. I would love something a little better, certainly with 2 toughness, but also maybe a keyword, lifelink, Menace, something like that. But I do think it might work. We're kind of, I guess, with this trying to do a little bit of a Kiln Fiend Blitz package, but not all in win on turn 2 kind of a thing. More of a win on turn 3 or 4 slowly. But yeah, definitely some sweet stuff. I hope that you liked the deck. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to support me on a monthly basis, you can check out my YouTube memberships, which allows you to get access to videos early. Thanks to my current $10 and up supporters, Howard Granger, Halkaz, Cody Cowell, DJ Vinyl, In Buns We Bust, Brotaku BC, Mr. Soleo, Paolo Dylan C, and Blackjack Davey. I really appreciate the support, and I will see you all next time.